By this point, the war had completely turned. What once looked like unstoppable expansion had become a slow and painful collapse. Germany was no longer advancing across Europe, it was retreating on all sides. In the east, the Soviet Union fought back with growing strength, pushing German forces out of the territories they had once taken so quickly. In the west, a new and powerful force was preparing to strike. In 1944, Allied troops landed on the beaches of Normandy, opening a second front and placing Germany under pressure from both directions. For the first time, there was no escape from the squeeze. The situation inside Germany grew worse by the day. Cities were bombed relentlessly. Factories were destroyed. Supplies became scarce. Soldiers were exhausted, and morale began to fall. What once felt like a powerful and controlled system was now beginning to break apart. And yet, even as everything collapsed, Adolf Hitler refused to accept reality. He remained in Berlin, holding on to power as enemy forces closed in from every direction. The sounds of war were no longer distant, they echoed through the streets of the capital. Buildings crumbled, fires spread, and chaos took over the city. Deep beneath it all, hidden in a bunker, he continued to give orders. Orders that could no longer be carried out. Orders based on hope rather than reality. He believed something could still change, that somehow the outcome could be reversed. But nothing changed. The Soviet army surrounded Berlin, tightening its grip day by day. There was no way out. No reinforcements coming. No plan that could save what remained. Only the end. Inside the bunker, the atmosphere grew tense and uncertain. Those around him could see what was coming, even if he refused to accept it. The war was lost. And in April 1945, as enemy forces moved closer than ever before, the man who had once risen from obscurity to control a nation reached his final moment. Adolf Hitler was gone. Not long after, Germany surrendered. The war in Europe came to an end. But the damage left behind was beyond anything the world had ever seen. Cities lay in ruins. Entire communities were destroyed. Millions of lives had been lost, and countless families were left to deal with the aftermath. The scale of destruction was overwhelming, and its impact would be felt for generations. As the fighting stopped, the world was left to reflect on what had happened. How did it all go so far? How did one man rise from nothing, gain complete control, and lead the world into such devastation? The answer lies in more than just one person. It was a combination of a broken system, a struggling economy, and a population searching for hope. It was a moment in history where fear and frustration made people vulnerable to powerful promises. And it was also a time when warning signs were ignored, when action was delayed, and when small decisions were allowed to grow into something far more dangerous. Because in the end, this story is not just about Adolf Hitler. It is about how quickly things can change when power goes unchecked, and when people stop questioning the direction they are being led. What began as a rise fueled by promises and ambition, ended in collapse, destruction, and loss. And from that collapse, a new world began to emerge. Countries were rebuilt. New systems were created. And efforts were made to prevent something like this from ever happening again. But the story remains. A reminder of what can happen when the warning signs are ignored. And why history should never be forgotten.